What's up, everybody? Celtic Character here, back with another video to get those 10s and 20 views. As I just seen why Jake Plummer is not making the team. He just threw an episode in the red zone after surviving. It was a throw you should not make. Throw you should not make. But we are doing more NFL predictions. I feel a sneeze. Sorry. Leaving it. Yes, we're doing more NFL predictions. Why? I need to get through them. How many more I got? 3. So, today we are doing the NFC West. Really can say I know not much about, a lot of the NFC West. Um, it should be entertaining. Who's their starting quarterback? Oh, yeah, they got. Oh, God, okay. But yeah, let's get started with the team that shares the same city as my favorite baseball team, Seattle Seahawks. Now, Seattle, you did pick up the legend of Sam Darnold, who I think it's going to be like this year. This era is like Larry Fitzgerald. I think he's just going to be a good player that ends up on a lot of teams, plays good for a lot of teams, but he's never going to really find a home. So I can see you splitting pretty much with every team in your division. Um, Maybe sweep the Cardinals. So that's saying you're playing the Niners at home. Win at Pittsburgh. It's a Sunday. It's an early game. Loss. I think you're probably about the same caliber as Pittsburgh, but traveling to them. New Orleans win. I do think you're better than them. Arizona. Like I said, I'm gonna have you split with your whole division. I'm gonna give the Cardinals a little bit of a break. With you guys, I think you two are the lower half of the division. So at the loss is at Arizona, Tampa Bay. Loss. Yes, I think they got the better former Cleveland quarterback. Oh, if he look, yeah, it's just a bad play. That's just a bad play in the game. Uh, but you will beat Jacksonville as I keep everything in line. Houston loss. Washington at Washington. Ooh, ooh. No, you're coming off the bye, so you should win. Beat the Cardinals because you're at home, split with your division. Lose to the Rams because in LA. Beat Tennessee. Lose to Minnesota. I kind of like Minnesota. I think if their quarterback can get things situated, yeah, that'll be good. Beat the Falcons. Beat the Colts. I think you're better than both. I think the Falcons. If you're gonna beat one of these two teams, either Minnesota or Atlanta, so I beat my division rival. I had you beat the Colts already. Beat the Rams because it's there. Lose to the Panthers. I think we're about the same spot on the card, like talent wise, and then lose to the Niners. This is very win loss win loss win loss. So that puts you at what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Have I got that right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9 and 8, which realistically is kind of about where I expect you guys to be at. That middle road team, a little bit of improvement because you got Sam Darnold. I do think Sam Darnold is slightly better than Geno Smith. I think Geno's more athletic, but I think Sam has a little bit better time. Also, Sam had a better year last year. That's why you signed him. Um, your ceiling, I saw this at around 13 wins. 13-4 has a good ceiling for you guys. That's saying you sweep. That's saying like you sweep your division. You win a lot of those like 50-50 games I had you on. You know, things of that nature. Worst case scenario for you guys, probably about like 3 wins. Like I see you beating the Colts. I think you're better than the Colts. I think you're better than the Titans. You're better than Jacksonville. And you should be better than New Orleans. So that's like 4 wins of teams I think you're uh, just flat out better than. All right, moving on to the Bay Area. The 49ers. Injuries, what killed you last year and the year prior. Will that be the issue this year? This is really the last year before you have to make you really have to make some tough calls with like free agency signings. I think you got to pay Purdy next year, or if you haven't paid Purdy. Same thing. I think you'll split with your division, most of your division, except for Arizona. I'll have you. So that means you're going to lose week 1 to the Seahawks. That's at Seattle. But you'll beat New Orleans. I think you'll sweep the Cardinals. Beat Jacksonville. Lose to the Rams because it's a split. You win at home. They win at home. It's in LA, so you lose. I think you'll lose to the Bucs. You have to go there. I think you'll probably. That's a tough stretch of the season. Beat the Falcons. Beat Houston. I think your defense will keep you in the game. That's going to win you the game. Beat the Giants. Beat the Rams. Beat the Cardinals. Beat the Panthers. I don't like my defense. That's the big thing. I think you guys will keep it close, but I think you have the edge on defense. Beat the Browns. Week 14 bye. God, he was wide open. Beat the Titans. Beat the Colts. Beat the Bears. Beat the Seahawks. Wow. 14-3. And you know what? I know that's your base. I do also think that's your ceiling. Yeah, I think this is one of the few where it's base and ceiling. Like, yeah, you could get up to like 15 wins, but I really don't see it. Worst case scenario, you're a lot more hurt than you thought, and you're like 5-12. Like, you get swept by the Rams. You split with the Cardinals, but it's like you should beat the Jags. You should beat the Giants. Realistically, depending on how I'm playing, how you're playing, this is a toss-up game. You should beat the Browns. Like, there's winnable games. So like I said, 5 to 6 wins is the worst case scenario. Moving on to my father's favorite football team. You know, he hasn't really watched that much football. The Los Angeles Rams. I actually have a bandana. I got my Carolina Panthers bandana. We also got my dad, I think that same year, a LA Rams bandana. Yes, LA. This is prior to them moving to St. Louis. And if I didn't decide that all my dad's teams sucked, this would have been my team. There are foes of me in Rams here. Of course, this is pre-1996 when the Carolina Panthers came around, so it is what it is. Starting off against Houston, that is a loss. I think Houston is a slightly better team. I think you'll beat the Titans, lose the Eagles, you're going there, beat the Colts. You probably split with the Niners, just like I had in the other ones. You'll win because that's the home game. Lose to the Ravens, but you'll beat Jacksonville. Week 8 bye. Not a bad bye. Not bad. 9 is that sweet spot. 9-10 are the sweet buys. Coming off the bye, you'll beat the Saints. Lose to the Niners because this one's at Niners. I can see you sweeping the Seahawks, but realistically, I'll have you split. That's a win because you're home. Beat the Bucs, but lose to the Panthers. That one's more or less for me. Like, I honestly think you'll probably lose to the Bucs, but beat the Panthers. But no, I'm flipping it because I'm a Panthers fan. Probably beat the Cardinals. Yeah, sweep them. Lose to the Lions. Lose to the Seahawks. Split. beat the Falcons, and then beat the Cards. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put you guys at 10 and 7 as your base. Not a bad base. To be all honest, it's not really a bad base to be going off of. Unlike the, you know, Niners, I definitely see you have room for improvement. I can see you getting up to 14 wins. I can see you get up to the 14 win range. Worst case scenario is a bad year and you're at like 4. Like you should beat the Panthers. You should beat the Cardinals at least once. You should beat the Saints. You should beat Jacksonville, the Colts, the Titans. So yeah, there are winnable games out there. So yeah. All right, last and certainly not least, the team I kind of think is going to be the worst team in this division. That's more or less because I know nothing about them. I know you got Kyler Murray. I know you got Marvin Harrison Jr., which hopefully he has a pretty decent year. I think he had a good, not great year rookie season, if I'm remembering correctly. So, with that being said, you start season with the Cardinals. So that's a win. I do think you'll lose to the Panthers. I do think we have a slight edge, not by much. Best-ish scenario, you split with a lot of your divisions. So that's a loss against the Niners. I'll figure out if you. I'll decide if you are split. If not, in a few seconds. Beat the Titans. Beat the Colts. I think you guys are all in the same bubble, but I have you as a slight better. He's around the edge. He stops running. I don't get why he's done. Team players do that. Yeah. That's what. 1, 2, 3, 5. Beat the Colts. Yeah, like I said, I think these teams are just below you. Lose to the Packers, bye week. Dallas. No, I beat Dallas. But you'll lose to the Seahawks, lose to the Niners, beat Jacksonville, lose to Tampa, and then lose to the Rams. What's on week 14? Lose to Houston. You'll beat the Falcons. Bengals, loss. Rams, loss. I don't think you had a lot of wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 and 10 as your base isn't god awful. It does make you last your division. Your ceiling, in all honesty, it could be like 12 to 13 wins. Like you split with your division instead of losing outright to some of them. You have a lot. The NFC South is not strong, so outside of Tampa, you could easily win those games. So yeah. But that does mean that the kings of the NFC West is the San Francisco 49ers, which I could see it. I think they're probably the most complete team out west. I do think the Rams are decent, but I think that's also going to depend on Stafford staying healthy, that defense playing a little better than it did last year, a little more consistent. But yeah, I think the West, both NFC and AFC West, should be highly entertaining to watch. But that is it. That's really all I have, and I'll see you weird people later.